My father suspended me until I apologized to my sister. I just said, all right. The next morning, she smirked until she saw my empty desk and resignation letter. The company lawyer ran in pale. Tell me you didn't post it. My father's smile died on the spot. I'm Marcus, 34, VP of Operations at my dad's manufacturing company. My sister Elena runs sales and consistently overpromises without consulting production. Last week, she promised a major account 10,000 custom units in 3 weeks. Actual timeline, 8 weeks minimum. I emailed the client the real timeline, copying Dad and Elena. Professional, necessary to prevent a lawsuit. Elena called it sabotage. Dad suspended me at a board meeting. 2 weeks without pay until you apologized to your sister. Everyone waited for me to argue. All right, I said simply. Dad looked disappointed I wasn't fighting. That's it? Elena was surprised. Can I go clean out my desk now? That afternoon, I packed 6 years into boxes. Then I opened my laptop and composed an email to the board, department heads, and our 5 biggest clients. Subject: production capacity, documentation, and timeline accuracy. I attached everything. Spreadsheets showing every time Elena overpromised. Email chains proving I'd warned about capacity. Budget analyses showing her mistakes cost hundreds of thousands. The Patterson contract where she promised 4 weeks and we delivered in 12 only because my team worked 70-hour weeks, and I absorbed overtime costs. The Morrison account where she promised features we couldn't produce. We subcontracted at a loss. The Chen Industries disaster where we had to refund their deposit and pay a penalty because her timeline was impossible. 6 years of documented chaos proving Elena was damaging the company while I fixed her messes. I attached my resignation letter. Per my contract, suspension without cause triggered severance and immediate stock option vesting. I pressed send. Then I emailed a headhunter about our competitor. I'm ready to discuss that opportunity. I can start immediately. Next morning, I arrived to collect items. Elena sat at my old desk, going through empty drawers. Enjoy your 2 weeks off, she smirked. Then she saw the bare walls. Her smile died. Richard, our lawyer, ran in, face pale. Tell me you didn't post it. Tell me you didn't send that documentation to clients. I held up my resignation. Already done. Dad appeared, smiling. The smile died when he saw my empty office and Richard's expression. What documentation? Every overpromise. Elena's made for 6 years, Richard said, voice tight. Every warning about capacity. Every budget overrun. He sent it to everyone, board members, department heads, clients. Dad's face went white. You can't. I already did, and I quit. Everything's by the book. This is blackmail. Elena stood. It's documentation, Richard said quietly. All factual. He had contractual right to share it. You're destroying what I built, Dad said. No, I'm refusing to cover for someone who's been destroying it for years. Patterson is already asking questions. Richard checked his tablet. They want to know why Elena's timeline differs from production reports. Good luck with that, I said. Also, the Henderson contract Elena just signed, she promised 5 weeks. Actual timeline is 14 weeks. Richard went paler. I walked out while they were still processing. My phone rang continuously. Clients, board members. I didn't answer. By afternoon, I had an offer from the competitor. COO position. 40% salary increase. Start date in 2 weeks. The fallout was spectacular. 3 clients put contracts under review. 2 demanded timeline clarification meetings. The board called emergency sessions. Elena's promotion lasted 8 weeks before the board removed her from client-facing roles. They created a meaningless position with no authority. The company settled 2 lawsuits and lost 4 major accounts, including to my new employer. Dad hired a consultant who assessed nepotistic management practices and failure to maintain operational accountability. My new position exceeded expectations. Within 6 months, we'd secured 2 contracts from Dad's former clients. A year later, Dad showed up at my house looking older, tired. Revenue is down 35% since you left. I'm sorry to hear that. You destroyed everything I built. No, Dad, I documented what was already happening. You destroyed it by choosing Elena's ego over reality. She made mistakes, repeatedly, and you enabled her every time. You suspended me for telling the truth. I came to ask if you'd come back, as COO, full authority. No, just like that. I have a position I love with people who respect my expertise. Why go back to proving my worth to people who decided I don't have any? Because it's family. Family should be where you don't have to prove anything. You gave Elena unconditional support. You never gave that to me. He left without another word. Elena never reached out. I heard she eventually left the company and moved to Arizona. Full story on the channel linked below.